When she was mine. What up, y'all? This is your boy Gerald. It is the 2nd of September. I know I just dropped a video yesterday, and yes, I know that the video was a lot of content. But I wanted to share this, and I'm going to make it really short. Go figure, right? He said short. That might mean 30 minutes. Now, putting this video out for the intended heart, intended mind, because I got an epiphany this morning about 4:30 in the morning, and as I was out and about, gotta get my coffee, I kept feeling this energy, this longing. It was tugging at my spirit, because I know that there is somebody. You're in conflict right now, because where you are today does not reflect who you are. And this could be based off of your occupation, could be by way of your affiliation, but there's a tug of war going on, and I feel it inside me that somebody needs validation. Because at first, this was nothing but a slight distraction that could be put away. Could be, I see you over there, but I'm gonna push you away. I'm gonna push you away. I will deal with you in the intended time. And that was a mindset that worked for a while. But now the somberness is kicking in, because you are realizing that what is required is for you to be you. And I know that needs to go out to somebody, because on one hand, you are embracing parts of your personality, but there is still a longing inside that there's kind of offset. So I'm going to put this out for you. There's a reason why everything that you're revealing, everything that's being revealed to you, and how it affects you, is playing out as it does. In quick summation, it's because God got something better for you. But what I've realized is, with any option, with any opportunity, the common denominator is you. And when you decide to accept it. So there might be a little bit of fear going on, or there may be some angst going on with you, and you feel that if I use this distraction, it'll keep me focused, not to look on what needs to be done. Maybe this is about time. Maybe you know that there is something you had your eye on for a very long time. And maybe by chance you felt that you weren't worthy, or it was given and you are kind of dumbfounded because you don't understand how it has come to be. Why you? Why are you being selected? Well, it's quite simple. See, it all goes back to when you took your first breath. Remember? See, your legacy was already written. But the thing about it is, you have to embrace the experience. That is why it's so important, y'all, to do not get caught up in your environment, because the one living constant about your environment, it never lasts forever. It's always changing. Only thing that stays true is the perception that you have to understand it, or lack thereof. So with that being said, there may be someone right now, you may have gotten to a point that you've had these discussions. I keep feeling, I keep feeling, you keep having these arguments within yourself. First of all, let's take the veil away. First of all, you ain't crazy. You're not. What you're feeling is the longing of your spirit, the real you. First of all, the real you, the authentic you, the person that is. If you only knew how blessed you were, you would know what to do and how to do it. You would see the value of every breath that emits from you. You would also see why some people seem to gravitate to you like a moth to a flame. See, it's all spiritual, y'all. See, I could turn around and give you information, but if you don't understand the language, you won't get it. But the language, what I'm trying to convey to you, you've already had. It's inside. And I know for some of y'all, anything that has a remote connection to the term intimacy, it scares you, because maybe this was the moment that you're going to finally allow yourself to grow. But with any growth, there's a responsibility, because see, you can't go forward if you're going backwards. You can't understand where you're trying to plot your steps if you're not standing still. So what is required is you to acknowledge your presence. But see, we already know that the devil's work is never done. We also know that demons have to stay employed, y'all. And those are the makings of what we know as disappointment. We also know these are the foundations of the things that we know as setbacks. And yes, they go hand in hand with fear. They do. Because yes, let's call it for what it is. There are those who have made a conscious choice to block your dreams, to block your steps, to not value you. The reason for this goes to one simple fact, is that we attract what we are. But see, if we don't have the courage, y'all, to go within, how can we understand where we're trying to go? How can we understand what is being given freely? Because it all goes back to free will, y'all. You do have to, wow, I feel passionate about this because I've got goosebumps, y'all. That's why I'm burning this candle for you. Because I want you to see you. See, inside you is just like that candle. There's a tempest, there's a desire, there's your spirit. And it will constantly grow. Now, how you choose to show the world the beauty that makes you, your uniqueness, how about how you interpret life as you know it, all starts the moment that you decide to see your worth, see your value. How about speak your truth? Because see, I understand right now that there are some of y'all that think that the only time that you are understood, doesn't mean you're accepted, is when you turn the octaves up in your voice. That's the only time they see me, Gerald. Some of y'all think. Don't you realize the moment that you decide to love you, You can walk in any environment, not say a word, and you will command it. Why? Because you're blessed. So that is the reason why I say to each and every one of you, first, do you know who you are? Because if you did, you were protected. Now, let's shift gears now. Because see, I also know as the seasons shift, because we had to say goodbye to summer and fall. Well, autumn is right here. And yes, we blink twice. Old Gerald's gonna have his hoodies on and wearing his Timbos and trying to stay warm. But guess what else is gonna be coming with the autumn? It's the period of preparation for what's going to fall before you. How about a lot of those dreams and hopes that you were afraid to speak upon? Which you know those are the makings of you too. But you know what else is going to fall from you? It's fear. hmm And with that, you have to get to a place of transparency because guess what? As the veil falls, the spiritual veil is what I mean. Those who had the same ideology, those who had the same foundation, because we are what we attract, there will be a divide. And I think maybe some of you may be wrestling with the reality that where you're intended to go, there are going to be those who will not. And some of you may be a little frightened because you have bonds that really are nothing but are really nothing but connections through your spirit. That's why you hear the kindred soul. Being kindred is nothing but being true, pure. So I don't know who it is this message is for, but just know this. The more and more that you get closer to God, the more closer you're going to get to yourself. And you'll be able to do things that you thought you were never capable of ever doing. The reason for this is very simple. See, to possess your blessings, you have to be made new from the inside out. Some of these setbacks and hardships, these disappointments that you've had to embrace, conquer, some of them were not even your energy. Who am I talking to? But you've also saw the nuances every time you were around them. It could have been someone that indirectly you had no connection with, but because they had a connection to your lineage, they wanted you to feel the effect. hmm That's why we know them as soul contracts, soul ties. But for every tie, there's no tie that God can't undo. Who am I talking to? So I want you to stop crying in the night. I got this feeling I have somebody, you know that you're destined for greatness, but you're afraid to grab it. No. And that's only because they told you to see it a certain way. Don't you realize these are the same people that didn't even have the same tenacity within themselves to do it themselves? So really, when you think about it, the connection is really a walking contradiction. They do all this, but they have no show. But they spend a whole lot of time to convince you not to see yours. Don't worry about that. And for that person that you've got that scar, you got that wound, yeah, you can surely change up from the outside just like a chameleon, but you still got that scar. You know why you still got that scar? You know why? It's because your soul's tied to it. Now, when you decide to have courage to embrace that scar, you will also see your beauty of that scar. Because guess what? Think of it like the caterpillar and the travel of the caterpillar. I think it was Kindred Lamar's poem that said it, that the world shunned the caterpillar but loved the butterfly. Well, it's the same thing as your lifeline. You're going to go through things that may be smooth and very traumatic to others. But what's really going on is the tenacity, the motivation that makes your fortitude. See, what's at stake, y'all, is your dreams. And every moment that you choose not to embrace them, you're wagering time, because those are the things that are going to reveal your purpose. There are also going to be the things that are going to guide you to the one. hmm You know, the one, the person that has the keys to the other side of your life. That will be your best friend for the rest of your days. So stop tripping. I know that's easier said than done, but I need you to stop tripping. Another thing that I need you to stop doing is stop being so critical of yourself, because we have the ability of being the worst critic. You do understand that. We can't beat ourselves up. We beat ourselves up more than any person can. Why? Because it's you. So you're going to stand up, or better yet, ask yourself what's keeping you down, what's keeping you connected to them, what's keeping you from going forward. How about what's keeping you from loving you? And here's the ironic part. Don't You'll come to also see that those are also the same things that had influences in your relationships too. Newsflash, they can't give you what you need. Only you can give you what you need. But before you can give you what you need, you must give yourself permission to grow. Come on now. You can do it. Because trust and believe, and I know this is going to be a little sad. As you take the steps in your life, you're going to see a lot of things that were hidden made revealed. And these things are going to be the makings of your truth. And one of the truths is this: some of the things that you held dear, you will realize they were a waste of time. Just as some of the associations that you had, you'll come to see that the person that you thought was your friend wasn't really your adversary. Not intentionally. They were drawn to you for one simple fact. It's the fact that they knew as long as they kept you distracted, you would not be able to see what was distracting them. Who am I talking to? God's got something better for you. For those, so really short and sweet, not to talk in parables. You've got work to do. These next 6 months are going to be very prolific for your life. For some of you, you're going to hear your voice for the very first time. You do understand you can say more in silence than you can at the highest octave. Who am I talking to? So, but what you don't fail to realize is the same people that are agitating your emotions, they know this, and they also get a kick out of it when you lose it. Who am I talking to? And you'll also come to understand the more that you choose to lose it, it also is a direct reflection on your finances too. So really what you're witnessing is a tactic to really control you. So you got to understand something, y'all. Opportunists does not need their help, does not need your help to expose themselves. But what is required is you have the courage to see what is being revealed. Can people change? They can change every day. But they cannot change until they decide to love them first. Because the moment that you decide to understand what is required to be intimate with yourself, that'll be the moment that you have that dialogue with God. Because He's the only one that's going to pull those wounds right out of you and replace it with love. Ain't no different than someone taking crabgrass out of a yard and putting nourishment right back in. So what happens? You got a scar. But guess what happens? After time, the time wounds heal, and it is just if not better. That's your life. This is not the end all be all. Somebody's saying, well, Gerald, you don't understand. Right now, I need this. Well, maybe what you need is peace of mind. Maybe now's the moment that you decide to stop running. Because as long as you keep running, the people that you need won't be able to walk with you. And why would you? You know what I'm saying? Because the people that truly deserve your attention, they're unconditionally loyal to your blessings. They will always see the best for you. And they always pray that you make it through the storm. And that's the one thing that a lot of people are starting to wake up on, because what man wants to deem as an emotional breakdown is really nothing but a spiritual breakthrough. Who am I talking to? Because sooner or later, what's going to happen is you're going to want to get right, not for them, but for you. This may be also the time when you finally wake up and you say, well, you know what, Gerald? I've willfully binded myself with this person. And now I know what I need requires much more. Have the courage. Don't compromise yourself, but have the courage and ask God to show you and watch what he protects you from. So you're on the end of your work week, y'all, and I hope wherever you are, hope you're well. So that's God talking to you. Who's that for? That's God's validation to you. Now so are you ready for the new you to come out? Butterfly? Ready to fly? Well, you got to understand, even a bird, if a bird didn't believe in itself, it would never leave the ground. So you have to love yourself more so you can soar high. And guess what? Ain't no better view to survey what you come from below. You're worth it. So be prepared for the changes. And there are going to be some things that are going to come up that is going to test you, because guess what? The devil's going to be pissed. And he's going to try to throw the kitchen sink at you. He's going to try to go after the things that you value. But guess what? If it's divinely meant, it will stand the test of time. And if it falls from you, guess what? That only means it makes more room for what was intended all along. I hope you guys have a safe and blessed weekend. I know this is the Labor Day weekend. Please be safe wherever you are. If you're driving, remember, Officer Friendly is out there to do his job. Also, for those that are on the East Coast, please be safe. Yes, we do have hurricane warnings, even here in Virginia Beach. The weather's building up. You know, we've had rain. We got rain, a lot of rain yesterday, but you can see it's building up. So this weekend is going to be very, very interesting. But nonetheless, y'all, I'm praying for you. I'm rooting for you. But guess what? Before we can go on any journey, which is our lives, we have to be willing to accept the fact that we have to do the work. Why? Because you're blessed. Have a blessed and safe weekend, y'all. But most importantly, God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. Why? Because you're worth it. And really, when you think about it, could you expect anything less? That's what I thought. Be blessed.